Hey, this is Mike on thesubstream.com, and this is an episode of Gear Guide that we made in conjunction with the wonderful people at White's Interactive. So this is another continuation of our series of shorts on green screens, how to use them, and today we're going to talk about how to light them, which is really important because if it's not lit properly, if you don't do the right technique, you can't use a green screen in your super cool movie to do super cool special effects. In a future episode, we're going to be talking about the specific way to key your image inside a computer, inside your editing program. But for now, suffice it to say that computers are assholes. They're like the worst moronic, pedantic, idiot friend that you could ever have. Because when you say to your computer, hey computer, why don't you take everything that's green out? It'll take everything that's green out, but then when you say, hey computer, how come you didn't take out this part that's dark green? It'll say, you did not say dark green, you said green. So what you have to do when you're lighting this thing is make sure that the whole thing is the exact same goddamn color. The color of baby shit. So the key word when you're lighting a green screen is consistency. You want every little square pixel of this thing inside your image to be the same color so that your idiot computer has an easier time deleting them from the image. And you do that using lights. This isn't so bad, but we can make it better. We're gonna use two Lowell Omni lights, but really you can light green screen with pretty much anything as long as you can make it soft and as long as you can make it diffused. We're gonna start with a not soft, not diffused lamp so you can see what to avoid. If you just punch a light on your green screen, like so, you can begin to get an idea of what I'm talking about. You have different values of green down here than up here. Your computer's not going to know that these are the same color. It's going to say, this is light green and that's dark green. Those are not the same. And also, when you have light that's hard like this, that's not soft and diffused, it creates problems when you have surface imperfections, as all green screens do. So, to solve this problem, the easiest thing to do to make a hard, non-diffused light into a soft, diffused light is to diffuse it, which we're going to do with diffusion. As you can see, it immediately solves some of our problems. We're lighting this green screen with cheap videographers' lights that we bought in the 1990s and happen to still have kicking around. But if you want to do a really good job, there's all kinds of specialized tools that'll make the process much simpler. But the principle is always the same no matter what equipment you're using. Make it diffuse and make it soft, like the fontanelle in your baby's head. When you're lighting a green screen, it's often tricky because you can't light it dead on. You can't light it in an angle that's perpendicular to the green screen itself because you usually have a person standing in front of it. And you can't light the green screen with the same light that you use to light the person, because then you have shadows on your green screen, and we know that shadows are no good. So you have to light the two independently. You have to light the green screen behind the person that's in front of it. And what that means is that you usually have a lamp off to the side at this either acute or oblique angle, and I would know which one it was if I didn't have a brain ruined by baby. When you have a light off to the side, it means that the field of illumination that you're throwing across the green screen isn't even because the amount of light coming out of a light bulb drops off, which means that the area that's closer to the lamp is much brighter than the area that's farther from the lamp, which may not seem like much to your eyeballs. However, to the computer, it's going to be a big freaking hairy deal. So the easiest way to get rid of that is to use two lights. So there, more or less, what you have is a relatively reasonably correctly illuminated green screen. We've used two lights so that both sides of the green screen are getting the same intensity of light, and we've used lights that are soft and diffuse because we diffuse them with diffusion. It helps avoid stuff like wrinkles, which cause shadows. It helps avoid stuff like uneven illumination, causing hot spots and not hot spots in the green screen. And your computer, as much of an idiot as it is, will think that you're pretty cool if you follow our tips, dude. And coming up next week, we're going to be talking about computers more in depth and showing you how to actually take your footage and key the green out of it using your favorite editing program and mine, Final Cut Pro. What's coming up next for me is scraping a half pound of baby out of the crack of his head.